This is the story of 26-year-old Priya Singh, a story that is very much in circulation both in social media and in newspapers as well as in mainstream channels, about how this young girl reported about an attempt to run her over by her boyfriend of 4 years, who happens to be the son of a high-profile person. Ashwajit Gaikwad is in the news for trying to run over his girlfriend in Thane near Mumbai, and he interestingly happens to be the son of the Maharashtra State Road Development Corporation chairman Anil Gaikwad, and two sections under IPC have been registered against him for voluntary cause of hurt and rash and negligent driving. But the victim's family insists that section 307, intent to murder or attempt to murder, should have been filed against him, which of course warrants more severe punishment. Now that's the case in a nutshell, but I'm not here to discuss the case, the merits of the case, or which side is arguing what. I am here to talk about how when relationships sour, when they go downhill, sometimes it leads to disastrous consequences, and this is just one of them. You can see Priya Singh there lying in her hospital bed, her statement, what she says about what happened to her. Victim Priya Singh says, I had a 4.5-year relationship with my boyfriend. We were completely in love with each other. I did not know earlier that he was married. Later, when I came to know, he told me that they, his wife and him, were not together anymore. They had separated. He said that he wanted to marry me. I was staying with him for a long time. When I went to meet him that night, he was with his wife. I was in a shock. When I went to talk to him, he got aggressive. We had a fight. 3 bones in my right leg are broken. It has been operated upon. From my left shoulder to my hips, I have deep injuries. I cannot move my body. 4 days ago, I went to file an FIR the day all this happened, but no action was taken. Today, when I posted on social media, the police have supported me today. Well, so that is Priya's version of what happened to her. Now, as I was saying, I want to come to the point about what happens to young couples, what happens to young girls. I'm going to talk about this from the perspective of a young woman who often falls into the trap of this successful, rich, handsome guy, and they land up in trouble. Of course, it may happen the other way around as well, but let me first get this out of the way on how young girls can protect themselves from falling into the trap of this kind of violent, aggressive men who are just out there as a predator to, sort of prey on women. So 3 things there. First, when you are getting into a new relationship, you've met somebody in a club or at a friend's place or at a party, and you hit it off and you started dating, and before you know it, you've started living in together. That's how fast things move nowadays. Now, what are the things you should look out for? First thing is that you must have a frank and open conversation with the partner who you want to have a relationship with about his background, about his family, about his past, his education, everything. Because if you are sharing that sort of an intimate space with a person, you need to know everything. But if you find that there is a tendency to withhold information, there is a tendency to hide, there isn't a full disclosure of things, and you will always sense it, that's a big red flag. The second is that person should give you access to some of his close friends, people who he has known from his childhood, etc. There would be somebody who he is close to, and you should know at least 1 or 2 of those people. You should not be denied access to his life and to his world. If that is happening, again, it's a big red flag, because it means that he's trying to keep you clandestine in some sort of a compartment that he will access at his own free will, and then he will have a life of his own. The third red flag, and this is important, is that go with your gut feeling. If you are getting an intuitive feeling that this man probably has other women tucked in, he may be having a wife, if there is some nagging suspicion, it is usually correct. And that's why they say women are very highly intuitive. Go with that feeling, pursue that feeling, get it out of your system, ask those questions. But all the while ensure that you remain protected. Do not expose yourself to a man who you don't yet completely trust, who you don't yet know everything about. That is what happened to Priya, and I hope that this message goes out to a lot of young girls. Please share this video with women, girls who are in the dating scene, who wants to have a good time, looking for someone as a partner, but then often gets into this sort of a relationship that ends in a disaster.